Hey yo, this is Man at Arms of Lighthouse Music. So I'm gonna be starting a new, it's like a new, want to call it a show? I won't say it's a show. Basically, what it is so I'm sure I'm not the only producer who has this problem, where you start a beat, and you don't really finish it. So my idea is I'm gonna have a show called Unfinished. And what I'll do is I'll go through some of the tracks that I've made that are in a that are in various states of incompleteness. And basically I'll play the three tracks and then let you pick which one I go back and finish. So with that being said, let me introduce myself. I go by Man at Arms. My company is Lighthouse Music. I do that with my son Critical, and basically what we do, we just do production. I do production. He does a little bit more than I do. I mean, he's far more talented than I am. I defer to him for a lot of different things, but right now, what I'm trying to do is really trying to get myself back into music production. I got away from it for some years. Life happens. Got a family, raise a family, career changes, all that stuff, but I've always had the love for music. So I've been involved in music pretty much all my life. I first really got started like in hip hop production back in the 90s. Took a hiatus, came back like early mid 2000s. Like I said, life happened, and took some time off. Started actually doing a podcast. Did a podcast for almost like 10, 12 years with a couple friends of mine. Got done with the podcast because the podcast started going a direction I really didn't like. And during that transition period of stopping the podcast and just really taking a break from just doing anything for real, my son started really getting into music, started getting into production, and lo and behold, he put out a single on his own. I gave him the tools to do it, and he just did it, which kind of inspired me to actually get back into music production. So with that being said, I kind of got started by really just doing some research before I actually even started doing anything. Because number one, I'm older, so like I said, my stuff started back in the mid 90s, early 90s or whatever, and music has changed, for the lack of a better term, and I couldn't find my place in production. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I know what I liked, but I wasn't sure if anybody else still liked what I liked anymore. But so for about a year before I even got into doing anything, I just kind of researched and kind of found that people still like old school hip hop. People like the old school sound, boom bap, or what have you. And boom bap is still around. It's changed a little bit, but then you also have what they call lo-fi, which is kind of boom bap. Some of it is more dark, or what they call sad. So I said, why not do that? Why not get back into doing what you do? Because it's still available. People still like it. So I started doing that. I started doing research about that. Started doing research into programs. I moved from analog gear back in the day. The first program I used was FL Studio. Really didn't like it, because I liked the feel of having something that's analog or close to it, and somebody hit me to Reason. So I started using Reason. So I started Reason like 4 or 5, because it was on the bootleg back in the day. And once I said, okay, I'm gonna get back into it, I invested some money and got into Reason 9. They gave you a free upgrade to 10. They're on 11 or something now. So I use Reason as my primary, but just recently as last year, I got into using Native Instruments Machine. And using those two combined, because I even started looking at the Machine, because I'm like, I see a lot of people using Machine to do boom bap as well as the SP404. I didn't really want to do hardware, so I didn't do no SP404. I just stayed with Machine. I use Reason as my primary, Reason and Machine as my secondary. And with those two, I think I kind of find something that works for me. Machine is kind of like my boom bap version of FL Studio, because I can get stuff done in there pretty quickly, whereas I can do more layered compositions in Reason, just for the sake of, because I can use Machine in Reason if I needed to, and I've done that. So with that being said, getting back to my original thing is, I want to take some of the tracks that I have that I've done in both of them and basically put them out there. Maybe each episode I'll do like 3 tracks that I already have done, but they're not complete, and just kind of play them as like snippets, kind of go through them and leave it up for people in the comments, see what they say. Hey, I like this one. Why don't you finish this one? What do you think about that? I know, and then kind of go from there. So that being said, we'll jump into the first one. So let's open it up right quick. I don't want that one. Let's see. Go down to the bottom. So all right, so I got a track called Give Me 5 Minutes Part 2. So Part 1 is basically the same track with same drums, different samples. So I'll give you, matter of fact, I'll do Part 1 and then Part 2. So this is Part 1. See if it hurries up. It opens up. All right, so this is the first rendition of that track. My bad. Just real simple. All it is basically drums over a loop. I got the loop, high pitch, low pass filter, high pass filter. Right now it's on the high pass, so you just hear the low end, and that's pretty much it. So I'll stop it. That's basically the first version of it. Now I'm gonna open up the second one. This is Part 2. Let's play it. Different sample. High pass, low pass. Filter on that one. It's a drum loop right here. Let me solo it out. Where is that coming from? So that's basically the Part 2 of that same track. Same drums, different sample chopped up. I kind of like Part 2 better than Part 1. So get your thoughts on that. Like I said, that's Give Me 5 Minutes Part 2. Basically, I made them both, or made the first one in 5 minutes and then just flipped it around with a different sample, like in another 5 minutes. Let me find the other one that I was looking at. Let's see. Let's try Reunion. How about that? So I think this was a little different. Nice little sample loop from Semantics, or Cymatics, should I say. I was going to use the new Soul Sessions player in this. I just hadn't got around to it. But yeah, this was like another sample flip, sample loop, or whatever I was going to use with those drums. So like I said, it was just something I was playing around with, but just really hadn't got a chance to come back to it. So what I normally do is like I'll start something. Like, look, I do this kind of in my spare time. So like when I've been working from home of late, so I can kind of work from home. Do work, and when I got a little spare time while I'm working, I'll go ahead and pull up Machine and do a little something, save it, and then come back to it later. So, and let me find another one right quick. I think I got a couple more that are a little more, probably a little bit more done than those are. Let's see. Let me search. Let's try to Get Behind Me. I think this was a little bit more done than the other ones were. Yeah, it's a little more done than the other ones were, I think. Although I have nothing showing on my screen. Let's try it. Let's play it. This was kind of set up in like parts or whatever. Like a little breakdown of the parts. Drop the strings out. Yeah, so this one's called Get Behind Me. So looking at, you see that's 3. This will be number 4, I believe. Yeah, let me know what you think out of those 4. Which one should I finish? Should I finish this one? Because this was almost done technically. Probably can add a couple more things to it. But overall, maybe, I don't know, just a couple little specs, riser, or maybe like drum feel or something like that, and it's kind of done. The other ones, they'll take a little bit more work, a little bit more digging into, but again, let me know what you think. With that, this is the first episode of Unfinished. Hey, if you like it, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more coming for you in the future. All right, peace.